Anyone for open forum, if you could raise your hand.
One moment, give Ruby a second. She just joined. Could you
Yeah, I was
repeat the
gonna
question?
say, we're just having somebody join now.
Ramsey, could you repeat the question?
Someone is trying to connect to
She's not in
audio
yet.
during the open forum. It's Ruby R.
Sure, she's still connecting by audio.
She looks like she's still trying to connect.
Right. Still buffering.
So I imagine she wants to talk in the open forum. Ruby R, if you do want to talk, if you could raise your hand. It is an opportunity during the open forum to discuss any things that you would like to discuss with the commission.
Is there a raise your hand function in Zoom, or is it?
Yes, there is a raise your hand function in Zoom.
Where does one find that? The bottom list of,
It's under reactions at the bottom.
okay, yeah, I see, yep. Thanks. I don't want to raise my hand, I was just curious.
We'll give it a few more minutes in case Ruby R wants to talk with us, but if not, I will ask them to start their video, and if they want to raise their hand that way. Ruby R will start video later. Ruby R, do you want to approach the board during the open forum?
Well, you tried.
Just give them a little time to, let me check the chats here. On that note, I'm not seeing a raised hand. I would say, Jerry, that there appears to be no one that wants to speak during the open forum.
Very good. And I'd like to call the meeting to order. Ramsey, would you call the roll, please?
Member Ludwig,
Here.
Robinson, Robinson,
I see her.
Okay, there I am. Here I am.
okay. Goodman,
Here.
Whitaker,
Here,
Page,
Here.
Greer,
Here.
DeVecchio is not present. All present except member DeVecchio.
Okay, I'd like a motion to approve the agenda.
I will make that I'll make that motion. I'll second.
Thank you, John. Thank you, David. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Agenda is approved. Minutes from the February 25th meeting. Any additions or corrections?
Yes, I have two corrections. On page 2, line 2, it says City of Brighton. It should be Town of Brighton. And on page 23, line 23, it says hears, and it should be hearings.
Okay.
Those are the only substantive ones I found.
I have on page 14, line 3, and line 13, and page 15, line 5, it's culled and it should be called. And on page 14, line 5, there's a statement, casements up in the gable vents, talking about the pool house. I have no idea what casements up in the gable vents mean. Does anybody remember? Probably not the end of the world if you don't.
Is that when John was speaking about the type of siding and trim they were going to use? He had some experience with the trim used.
But these are casement windows that they're talking about up in the gable vents, and it just didn't make sense to me, but,
It's probably the gable end.
okay, yep, that would make sense.
Oh, that would make sense.
Okay, very good. Any other additions or corrections? Motion to approve with corrections,
I'll move. Amanda Dreer.
second, please.
No second.
All in favor?
For seconds.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Was this meeting was this meeting duly advertised?
Yes, there's advertised in the Brighton Pittsford Post of March 11th, 2021.
That meeting is duly advertised, will now be held. We have no communications, no designation of landmarks, no certificates of appropriateness, no hardship applications. Public hearings are now closed. Motion to adjourn? No, we've got.
Just have two very quick matters to discuss and then everyone can go on their way.
I'll let you go first. I have one thing to add too. Go ahead, Ramsey.
Well, the question I have for this board is that we do have funds to hire professional consulting services to do surveys for us in case we have a property that's threatened, or if we want to have property surveys that have been performed updated, or if we want new properties to be surveyed. I will need to go out and issue an RFP asking people to submit proposals to provide those services. And I just want to make sure that that is something that you would want me to do.
I don't have the current list of, I know it's been sent out. I don't have it right before me. I looked for it. I can't find it. Would you send out a list of properties that have been surveyed but not designated? Ramsey?
Yep.
In case we've been through that list before, and I think we narrowed it down pretty well. I think we've taken
Question
some
is, and I would
properties
like to discuss this at the next meeting, Cherry, is that we come to the next meeting with ideas of, there are properties that you would like to have surveyed or updated.
Yes.
That discuss that at the next meeting. In the meantime, what I'm asking is to be able to go out, and if you concur with me, sending out the RFP for professional consulting services.
I
So I
would
have
like
to go
that.
through the town board to go through that process, and it takes a little while.
I think that's an appropriate thing to do. Anyone opposed to that? I think that's fine, Ramsey.
I just wanted to check before I went down that road.
Sure. Well, thank you. Anything else from you, Ramsey?
No, it's just more of a, just checking in and making sure I'm going in the right direction.
Okay. I had a call from Dave Driscoll, who lives down in the farmhouse on the corner of Parsons and East Avenue. And he wants to put he's got a couple of grandkids and wants to put a swing set up in the side yard there facing Parsons Road. And I didn't know whether that's something we needed a certificate of appropriateness for or not. I would hope not, but you never know.
No.
Is it permanent?
No, well, I mean, it certainly, it can be
It
taken
is
down. I
not
mean,
subject to a building permit.
Yeah.
it would be.
It's not.
Oh, okay. Then do we want to,
Well, no, that's a little bit different. That's one of the things you look at when you're looking at if something needs to come in for a certificate of appropriateness. Is it something that requires a building permit?
right,
Because before I issue a building permit for a property that's been designated by you guys, I have to make sure they come in and get the appropriate certificate of appropriateness. But a swing set by our town code under our section, chapter, I think it's 73, our building code section, swing sets and play sets and
okay.
those alike are not required to get a permit. I assume this is just a basic swing set?
I believe so. It's, you can't have metal ones anymore, so I guess it's wood. He did check with the neighbors. No one has an objection. So,
Probably what would be good is to get the details of what he's proposing, so we could take a hard look at it, Jerry.
okay, that's fine.
And then I can make a determination if if a certificate of appropriateness is needed, because some of these things that come down, is it permanent or not? You'd be surprised at some of these swing sets and play forts that come in.
Sure. And the other thing is, I think, and I brought this up a couple of meetings ago, I'd like to get the commission's thoughts, whether or not we could exclude air conditioning, compressors, and generators and so forth from needing a certificate of appropriateness, since they do require a building permit, I would think.
Yep, they do.
So anything else along those lines that might trigger a C of A that we could exclude from our agenda, I think might be a good thing.
Mhm.
So folks, just think about that, please, for our next meeting.
And then what I would suggest, Jerry, is if you can come up with that list and agree upon it as a board, perhaps you can pass a resolution requesting that the town board take action to amend the historic preservation law to exempt that work from the need to get a certificate of appropriateness.
Okay.
And then we can have some formal communication go over to the town board, and then let the town board take what action they may.
Very good. Okay, thank you. Any other new business? Any other old business? Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, everyone. Just a quick one.
Motion to adjourn.
All right,
So moved.
second.
Thank you, David.
Second.
Nice to see y'all.
Have a great night.
Okay, thanks.
Good night.
I go for a swim.
Yeah, that looks like.
David, is
you know,
David really there or is that a movie?
Yeah, that was like.